2023 was an absolute nightmarish year at the box office, not just for Hollywood studios, but also for the theatrical industry. And the first 2 months of 2024 have been even worse. Even the few things out there that people thought had a chance to make some money have completely and totally flopped. And it's significantly trailing the numbers we saw even last year. Well, it looks like we finally might have our first blockbuster of the year, and that is Dune Part 2. Despite it feeling to some that there was a lot of anticipation building for this movie that got delayed a couple months, this was the spot they landed on this first week of March to open in when there wasn't a lot of competition. But still, with a nearly 3-hour science fiction epic, what are we actually going to see at the box office? We know what we saw with Dune Part 1. Made a little over $400 million worldwide despite being released on HBO Max for free at the exact same time. And that was enough for them to greenlight Dune Part 2, and I think they're going to be happy they did. Dune Part 2 makes $12 million in previews, more than twice as much as Part 1. And right now, this thing is tracking between domestic, between international, because international's got $21 million through Thursday as well. You're looking at an Oppenheimer type of opening. That's what we're looking at right now for Dune Part 2. Somewhere in that 170, maybe 180 plus million dollar range. And if you remember, all the way back to last summer, that's kind of what we were looking at for Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer snags 82.4 million domestically. Right now, projections for Dune Part 2's opening weekend has it between 75, 85 million, right in that range. And if you look globally, what we saw from Oppenheimer, $180 million start. That was a movie that went on to make $950 million worldwide, and that was rated R and a 3-hour movie. But Dune Part 2 not only getting critical acclaim, but also incredibly great fan reception. When you look at the IMDb scores, it's insane. Dune 2 breaks IMDb record with 9.4 rating before release. Now, that's not really a great way to phrase it. It wasn't before release because there had been several screenings before. That's why those ratings got there. However, it was before the big Thursday opening night. Now that we've seen a lot more come in, 32,000 ratings overall, it's at a 9.1. Now, I talked about this. I did a quick out of the theater reaction to this movie. I really enjoyed it. If you're a hardcore book lover, there's going to be a couple things you take issue with, specifically the character of Chani and the way they end the movie with her. However, overall, I thought it was a great experience. I don't know if I'd put it as one of the best movies of all time. I think that's a little bit of a stretch, but certainly I think there's really good reason to go see this in theaters. It is a visual spectacle, and I do think despite leaving a few things out and making a few changes, overall does a pretty good job of telling this story. And right now, I think the sky's the limit for this thing. Before Dune Part 2 officially came out, I said, listen, I think that this thing, if they hit $800 million, I think they're going to be really pleased. Now I think that number has the potential to go even higher. Could we see a 950 like Oppenheimer? Could we actually see $1 billion for a 3-hour science fiction movie like this? I didn't think we were going to get anywhere near it with Oppenheimer. We did. I think the whole Barbenheimer thing helped out there. But certainly with both the critical and the audience reception right now to Dune Part 2, it looks like anything is possible. What do you guys think? Did you see the movie? Are you looking forward to see the movie? I think it's going to have great legs because it looks like IMAX theaters are selling out days and weeks in advance. People really want to see it on the biggest screen possible. So it could end up having some good legs because of that. Some people might be holding off watching it opening weekend just so they can get good seats in IMAX later on next week or next weekend. Let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.